Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3, back once again with the 3 count with SP3 for the weekend of February 1st, 2020. It is the start of February. We're already a month into 2020. A new decade has become, and so much has went down. We've had New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Kingdom. We've had WWE Royal Rumble. We've had Worlds Collide. We've had new signings, wrestling free agency up and running, which we'll get into in a little bit. We've had people making more money than they've ever made before, people joining booking teams, people crossing over from promotion to promotion. 2020 is looking fast and exciting, and I am here with you guys to cover it all with your news of the day with the 3 count with SP3. So on this edition for the weekend of February 1st, 2020, we're going to be talking about a certain WWE tag team asking for their release again and turning down a big money contract. We're going to be talking about signings to both New Japan Pro Wrestling as well as Ring of Honor. And we're going to be talking about more fallout of the co-presidents of WWE being ousted over the past week. We talked about it a little bit on Tru Heel Heat 62, which will be up on our YouTube channel, but we're going to be talking about it a little bit more right here on the 3 count. And of course, since it's a weekend edition of the 3 count, we have a bonus count for you guys where we'll be talking about a return of a very loved and missed title in professional wrestling making its return in 2020. So for our first count, we got to be talking about the Revival. Make them say yeah. The Revival has once again asked for their release. They are scheduled to be, their contracts with the WWE are scheduled to expire in April for Dash Wilder and in June for Scott Dawson. Or I think I have that the other way around. But in April and June of this year, their contracts are scheduled to be expired. But the Revival have asked for their release. We've had a couple of other superstars who were granted their release, like Luke Harper, The Ascension, and a few others. But the Revival wanted to join the ranks. Of course, they were denied their release. This is all according to Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer Radio. This was also told about in a story by bodyslam.net that they turned down a $750,000 a year deal with the WWE. The WWE have been trying to sign them to new deals throughout the year of 2019, and now to start 2020, they offered them $750,000 a year. This is similar to the contract that was offered to Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson of the OC, which they signed and re-signed with WWE last year. The Revival have kept denying the WWE, and once again denied them for their biggest deal yet that they've been offered. They've once again asked for their release this past week, seeing that the changes to the tag team division that they have wanted and begged for to the WWE have been denied, and the WWE's lack of focus on the tag team division seems to make them believe that they just need to be out. They are just ready to be out of there, and honestly, I don't know what WWE is stopping them. WWE has granted a release of a couple of other superstars, and they're really not focusing or doing a whole lot with the Revival, and they've kind of like buried them as much as they could with Uzi Hot and the last couple of weeks losing in like Christmas Miracle on 34th Street fights and stuff like that. So they buried them enough. They've done all they can to keep them underneath so they can let them go with a clear conscience, saying they did everything to make them as not over as possible and let them start anew in a new promotion. Hopefully Revival can get their releases, or at least make their way to the end of their contract. I know it's going to be a lot to deal with over the next couple of months leading into the WrestleMania season, which we're in the start of right now, but hopefully the Revival will be set free one day, hopefully in 2020. On our second count, we got to be talking about new signings in the latest of the Wrestling Free Agency 2020. We've talked a lot about this on the 3 count with SP3 to start off the year, and we're going to talk about it a little more on the second count. So the latest signings are with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Chase Owens of the Bullet Club, our good friend, the crown jewel Chase Owens, who we've had an interview with right here on our YouTube channel with. He's a great guy, very humble guy as well, and a very funny guy, as you will see in our interview. But he is a very talented guy, kind of undercard guy on the New Japan roster, kind of the guy to eat the falls for the Bullet Club in New Japan. But he is a very talented guy nonetheless, and a tag team guy as well, tag team specialist. He has re-signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He announced it this morning, February 1st. Whether you're watching this on February 1st or February 2nd, Chase Owens made a tweet out the morning of February 1st, and he said that he has re-signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling and that life is new, and he's glad to have a new start with New Japan. So very happy for Chase Owens. A round of applause for him. Very happy for him getting to meet him and getting to know the brother. So I'm very happy that he got a new deal with New Japan. And on the other side, Ring of Honor, ROH, who has been, in my eyes, the MVPs of the wrestling free agency of 2020 with the re-signing of Marty Scurll for the big money contract and him joining the booking team. They've re-signed Dragon Lee, Bandito, and now the latest addition is Brody King. Brody King of the Villain Enterprises has re-signed with Ring of Honor. They're also close to re-signing PCO, who is their current Ring of Honor World Champion. And something that we didn't touch on Tru Heel Heat 62, the re-signing of the Briscoes, the longest standing members of the ROH roster. They're day one participants. Jay Briscoe was on the very first show for Ring of Honor with Mark Briscoe in his corner because he wasn't old enough to compete. They are 11-time ROH World Tag Team Champions, the 2019 ROH Tag Team of the Year, and the 2010s Decade Tag Team of the Decade for Ring of Honor. So the Briscoes well deserve of a new deal with Ring of Honor. A lot of people are a little disappointed because they feel like they left a lot of money on the table, because we know promotions like WWE and NXT would love to take the Briscoes off the table to a lot of other promotions like the New Japan Pro Wrestling, who the Briscoes have competed with before. Their former IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Of course, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, would have signed the Briscoes to a big money deal, trying to bolster up their tag team division, which is their highlight of their whole promotion right now, their All Elite tag team division. So the Briscoes have turned all those down and just decided to re-sign with Ring of Honor, the promotion they know and love, the promotion they've been with for their whole entire duration, the entire 18-year existence of ROH. The Briscoes have been a part of their existence, and I'm very happy for them. If they're happy to stay in Ring of Honor, I am happy for them. The Briscoes are highly talented, and very happy that they got a new deal with Ring of Honor, and they're making enough money to make their families go along and have food on the table. That's all you can ask for. Brody King is a very talented individual, a part of Villain Enterprises, former ROH World Tag Team Champion with PCO, former NWA World Tag Team Champion with PCO, a part of Villain Enterprises, and they won the 2019 Crockett Cup. So very interesting to see if Brody King and PCO will team up again for this year's Crockett Cup coming up in 2020 in April. Brody King has re-signed with Ring of Honor reportedly for a 2-year deal. So all of those guys make money. All I can say is I'm happy for them. That's all you can see in wrestling. I love when they make more money. These guys put their bodies on the line, and they deserve these new contracts. So wrestling free agency is just a happy time because they're signing the bottom line and making their selves happy and putting food on the table and making their families happy. All we can ask for. On our third count, let's talk about somebody who's not happy. It's the former co-president of WWE, Joe Barrios and Tori Lawson. I'm gonna check that name. 10/28. All right, so I'll put these two videos together tell you the point that we'll cut off, and I'll start anew with my third count. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And for our third count, we got to be talking about more fallout of the WWE co-presidents or former co-presidents of the WWE and their ousting. Vince McMahon put out a statement as well in regards to it. The former co-presidents George Barrios and Michelle Wilson, it was announced earlier this week that they were ousted from the WWE. Immediately, WWE stock prices plummeted immediately. I think over 20% in an hour. It went from about $66 at the start of the day to it's now standing at $48 for the stock price share. Vince McMahon put out an announcement that said that he appreciated their time with the WWE as co-president, CFO, and CEO of the WWE, but they disagreed on a certain important idea that Vince McMahon and the rest of the board of directors decided on. We don't know what this important idea was, but it's not surprising that someone disagreed with Vince McMahon and immediately lost their job. Not surprising at all. Color me shocked. No, not shocked at all. Anyway, it's unfortunate that it had to come to this. It's very suspicious timing as well, with the XFL about to kick off next week. I believe next Thursday is the kickoff of the XFL season. So very interesting times indeed. Vince McMahon said in his statement that he, like I said, he appreciated their time with the company, but the company was starting on a new path and new direction. So it's very interesting times for WWE. I don't expect the stock price to be this low for too long. WrestleMania season definitely does usually see a boost in the stock price. So I expect it to improve by the time WrestleMania is come and gone. After the WrestleMania season, don't know what's going to happen after that. But for now, I think it's not a time to worry. It's actually a time to buy. It's time to buy some shares in the WWE stock because it will boost up throughout the year. They're going to have certain deals. Of course, the network money came in on the fourth quarter, and their fourth quarter call is actually this coming week as well. So I would wait for the fourth quarter call, but it's time to buy shares in the WWE. It's not a time to panic. That stock price will go up. I don't know if it's going to be back up as much as $100 like it was at one point, I think last year or in late 2018, but it's going to be back up above $48 like it is standing right now. And since we are on the weekend, we have a bonus count for you, and we're going to be talking about the Pure Wrestling Championship, ROH's Pure Wrestling Championship that was retired back in 2006, will return this year in 2020. Yes, I have to cut that too, but it will be returning in here in 2020, the Pure Wrestling title. They're going to be having a tournament, 2 nights of a tournament starting in Columbus, North Carolina on April 11th. There's going to be a tournament to determine who will be the Pure Wrestling Champion. The Pure Wrestling Championship was introduced in Ring of Honor back in 2005. It had such champions as Colt Cabana, Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, Jay Lethal, and Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness, in my eyes, was the greatest Pure Wrestling champion of all time. Daniel Bryan was the final Pure Wrestling champion as he defeated Nigel McGuinness back at Unified in 2006 in Liverpool in the UK. It was an epic encounter. I would go out your way to watch that match. It was incredible. I remember watching it all these years later, 14 years later. I still remember this match. The blood pouring out of Nigel McGuinness's head, the submission work, the brutal strikes is a hard-hitting encounter, and it's one of the greatest matches in ROH's history. So that is all for the 3 count with SP3 for the weekend of February 1st, February 2nd, 2020. If you enjoyed this video, press the like button, and of course, push that subscribe button and stay tuned for all the great content right here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. I'm going to be back over this week, and not only am I going to give you another 3 count during the week, I'm going to give you my special review of New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning in Sapporo, both nights on February 1st as well as the 2nd. And then J News, my boy, J News will be back with J News Japan for New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning in Osaka, which is going to be next weekend. So stay tuned for all that great content right here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. Push that subscribe button, and don't forget to push the bell to stay notified for all the great content that we got right here on Tru Heel Heat. So it's me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3, signing off for this edition of the 3 Count with SP3. Until next time.